This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flo's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flo's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flo retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, March 1, and time for the Barbados Today afternoon update. Thank you for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. She's back. Embattled Member of Parliament for Christchurch West, Dr. Maria Agard, was back in Parliament this morning after a long absence. Dr. Agard took her seat after weeks of battling health issues. She was granted leave from Parliament on January 26 to March 1. Her return comes as Finance Minister Chris Sinclair moved the second reading of the British American Insurance Company Barbados Limited Preservation Investments Bill 2016. Minister Sinclair told the House what the bill is seeking to accomplish.
The government of Barbados, consistent with its commitment to the policyholders and investors involved in both entities, in this case the British American Insurance Company Limited, to preserve as far as is humanly possible and as far as our financial capacities will allow for their investments in the company under our particular review this morning to be preserved. And quite like what we did in relation to BAICO, we have come here today to ask the Parliament to join hands with the government in execution of that solemn commitment to those policyholders and investors in this particular company.
In other news, ordinary Barbadians were missing from the important town hall meetings on health financing put on by the ministry. That's according to University of the West Indies Caville campus lecturer in public health and epidemiology, Dr. Natasha Sobers Granum. She made the comments at the final town hall meeting at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center last night on the way forward for health care financing on the island.
I don't think we've heard the voice of the working class necessarily, or truly middle class. I think a town hall meeting is not necessarily the best forum to hear the voice of the working class. Perhaps they can't come to this type of forum. That's not a good place, might not be a good place for persons. I think we need to consider focus groups with other voices. Focus groups that go into community centers, PTA meetings, just to hear different voices on what people want to say. I'd like to hear what I'll call ordinary Bajans. By that I mean also non-healthcare providers, patient interest groups. And I say that because I can look around the room and recognize lots of people, so I know what people are in healthcare. Some people are nurses or retired nurses and have a lot of contact with the healthcare system. And so I'd like to hear other voices as well, persons describing their level of satisfaction with the current healthcare system. Provide us as healthcare providers with the opportunity to for change, to critique the system. And if we're going to ask persons to pay more, right, we should be listening to their needs to improve quality.
Meantime, former Member of Parliament, Dr. William Duguid, says the Queen Elizabeth Hospital is the birthright of Barbadians, and as such, they should not be made to pay user fees. Dr. Duguid, a dentist and former hospital administrator, told the town hall meeting that the government must find another way of financing the QEH.
The Queen Elizabeth Hospital was built on public land. Public funds were used to build the building. Public funds were used to equip the hospital. The vast majority of people who work there would have been educated through the public system. The institution has been built, equipped, staffed, and financed through the public purse. It is the birthright of every Barbadian to be able to access the services that it provides free of charge. If you want to charge fees in Barbados, go and buy some land, privately funded. Go and build a privately funded building, equip it with private funds, and then you would have a legitimate reason to charge fees to recoup your expenditure.
Keep your surroundings clean. Education Minister Ronald Jones is urging householders who live nearby schools to take greater responsibility for how they live and treat the environment. He said unhealthy practices by some residents have been taking a toll on some schools, and he wants citizens to be more mindful that their habits do impact on the environs.
We had last term, people got to be careful where somebody disposed of a dead animal, a rain of allerton. That affected the school, and the school had to have some interruption until white lime and all of those things was placed on it to ensure that the stench or the smell wouldn't affect school. We've had other concerns where persons have thrown their stools over the back of their houses onto the grassy area of one or two schools. And that affected those schools. So we fight every day to urge the school one to ensure that they're kept as clean as possible, that where they possibly can and we need to do industrial cleaning, that is done. But we want to encourage the wider community that exists around schools. Be clean, be really clean so that you don't have this truncated learning experience.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
God, these papers ain't selling at all. Get your paper. Only $2.25, get your paper, miss. Look, take it, I can pay for it. Barbados today, all the way.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To news from the region, the Prisons Officers Association is blaming the Trinidad and Tobago government and the judiciary for the murder of one of its members. 32-year-old prisons officer Victor Simon was shot dead outside his home in Laventille early yesterday morning.
I can't rationalize why Fitzalbert. I can't rationalize why.
Tears for a colleague that Gerard Gordon knew personally. Overwhelmed by emotion, he didn't have all the answers. But the president of the association was certain about the precarious position of his colleagues.
We are a very important arm of the state that is consistently under attack from the criminal elements and no response coming from the state at all. Prison officers in Trinidad and Tobago are being set up. They are being set up by a delinquent state.
Bitterness and neglect, the picture painted by President of the Prisons Officers Association as he responded to the killing of one of his own, Fitzalbert Victor, shot dead outside his Laventille home this morning. He slammed at the state for empty promises, which included relocating prisons officers in high-risk areas like Victor and promises of drafting legislation to safeguard prisons officers.
That report from TV6 News. And on the international scene, candidates bidding for their party's ticket in the November U.S. presidential election face their biggest test yet in the so-called Super Tuesday primaries. 12 states are set to cast ballots for candidates from either the Republican or Democratic parties or both. Contests stretch from Vermont in the east to Texas and Georgia in the south. More in this report from the BBC.
Who are you supporting? Donald Trump. Who are you? Trump. Donald Trump.
But everybody's so angry with the Democrats and so angry with the Republicans, that's why he's got the support he's got. He's the screw you Washington vote. That's all he is.
Sir, can I ask you what you think about Donald Trump? Yeah, he's the man. I'm voting for him. Everybody I know is voting for him.
Senator Marco Rubio. The one person who could possibly overtake him is the Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Last Thursday, in a TV debate, he changed tactics, clearly calculating that he has to play Donald Trump at his own game to prevail, something he's continuing to do at his rallies.
The guy with the worst spray tan in America is attacking me for putting on makeup. Donald Trump likes to sue people. He should sue whoever did that to his face with that.
And continued that line of attack when I spoke to him backstage.
Senator Rubio, are you confident you can still beat Donald Trump?
Absolutely, we're going to. There's no way the party of Lincoln and Reagan is going to be taken over by a con artist, and we're going to do everything we can. I will be in this race as long as it takes.
And did Thursday make a difference in the debate?
I hope so. We'll find out, but it's just the beginning of a process. As I said, he's fooled a number of voters around this country so far into believing that he really is what he says he is. We look forward to examining his record over the next few days and weeks, and we have confidence in what that's going to mean. The Republican Party, in the end of the day, when this process is finished, Donald Trump will not have the 1,237 delegates he needs to win, and I will be in this race as long as it takes to prevent that from happening.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good afternoon.